You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to Best Bets for Pets. I'm your show host, Michelle Fern. So we're going to talk about something very, very important, and it deals with saving your pet's life. What could be more important than that? Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Buster, you're telling me my dog food products can't go on your shelves?
That's right. Didn't pass one of my Petco certified nutrition checklists. Sorry, Wayne.
Who made these checklists?
Geniuses. Very smart guys.
Well, it's good enough for most grocery stores.
Do you see cheese puffs on my shelves? Mayonnaise? Soda pop?
No.
That's because I ain't running no grocery store, Wayne. Your pets will get better nutrition, I guarantee it. Petco, where the healthy pets go.
Enter the code LUCKY10, LUCKY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at petco.com.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Hi everybody, I'm Megan Blake here with my sidekick Super Smiley, the giant mutt and spokes dog for throwaways. You're listening to Pet Life Radio, and I'd like to tell you about our brand new show, A Super Smiley Adventure. Our show explores adventures with animals. They can be traveling, out in the world trips, or inner journeys where our animals lead us to inspiration and self-discovery, or just plain fun adventures. Join us here on Pet Life Radio on A Super Smiley Adventure. Good boy.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I want to introduce you to Mark Rath, and he is the Director of Marketing at Beauregard's Fire Safety Plaques. Welcome, Mark.
Welcome.
So this is so important because if there's ever a fire or I imagine another disaster, for people to know that you have animals in the house because often they hide. Can you tell our listeners basically about your product?
Yeah, our plaque was kind of designed with our pets in mind. My two sons are firefighters, so we had long conversations about how they would look for our pets. And, you know, it was the consensus that a visual aid at the front door or both doors or any entrances would be a help to them. And that's kind of how we came up with it. It is a very ornate product that is made out of three finishes, nickel, brass, and copper. It's made out of ABS plastic that's very durable. It's easy, lightweight. But we do recommend that you put it by one of your doors. When they enter your home, they see that. You know, I mean, you could have a million pets. It doesn't matter. If they see that, they realize that you probably spent a good chunk of money for that, and they're going to look for your pets. So that's kind of how we came up with it.
One of the things that also is, it's not just for fire safety. I mean, anytime there's some type of disaster, because I know pets, I mean, I have one of my little dogs, just Thunder, and he's terrified. So I can imagine if there is, you know, fire or something worse. So I think it's, you know, a great useful item for any type of disaster, problem, or what have you.
No, that's correct. And we know that there are other, you know, we live in a hurricane place here, so, you know, anything could happen. We could get, a tree could come through the house and we get knocked out and somebody comes in the house and our pets are running around in the house, so it is different emergencies. We understand that. I think fire is the one that we're passionate about just because we've seen that happen. The girl that designed this plaque, her house just burnt down, and luckily the firemen saved 5 dogs. So it's definitely out there. Fires do still happen. We just don't see it every day. And, that's kind of where we're at. We really love the product, and, we're hoping to come out with some other ones.
So the product comes in 3 finishes, and it's a lightweight plaque. It's a really cute design. It's a picture of a dog and then information on the front. Why did you come up with the plaque in plastic and this type of plastic material?
Well, I think one thing we were looking at was affordability. A bronze plaque is $185 to $285 for that size. So aluminum might be a little cheaper, but what you don't find is the 3-dimensional look. You probably won't find those kind of finishes. It's actually an industry that's kind of a dying art that we've kind of, it's still out there, but all the business has been shipped overseas. So we're kind of bringing it back, and we're probably, it's probably employing 60 to 80 people when they do our little project. So, that's a plus sign for our economy. But I think weatherability, like I said, it's lightweight, it's easy to install. It costs less to ship. We are thinking about using a recycled ABS plastic, which ABS plastic is the same product that you'll see on your automotive parts, your dashboard, grills. That plastic is very impact resistant, very, durable for outdoors. So it was a good product for us to use. And like I said, the electroplating process has been around a long time. So it's a nice look, and we were able to get 3 different finishes out of the one plaque that we created.
Now, did the plaques all have just the dog figure? Do you have plaques for different animals?
Well, this is our first plaque. Like I said, it's taken us over a year and a half to get this project completed. And, we're hoping to do one with a cat on it. Actually, that is in the design element right now. Hopefully we can get a handle on that. It has to be sculpted out of clay, the cat, and then it has to be scanned and everything else. And then we can go to building our steel mold. That's how the injection mold business is. They build a steel mold. So it's very time consuming, and it is very pricey. So, we'd like to get this first one out. We're excited about it. We've heard from a lot of cat people, and we can't wait to do one. We're actually thinking of doing a double mold, which will give us a cat one as well, and then probably a third plaque. So we'll have 2 other plaques being designed next time around, which, we're hoping within 6 months we'll have that.
Oh, that's great, because I have a cat and dogs, but I know my cat friends like their cats. So that's great that you're going to be coming out with a cat plaque soon. I have a side benefit besides, letting people know in case of a disaster that you have animals in your house. Since I've had my plaque, I've had people come visit me, and they, know when I open the door to greet. I've had this happen about 4 times. Someone said, "Oh, I see you have dogs, so I'm going to not open the door wider and make sure nobody comes out." It just lets people know, too, that you have animals in the house, so to be conscious of that.
Well, that's actually true. We were actually thinking about making a plaque for that, and we still might down the road, but I can see that working that way.
Yeah, I've had before. I remember years ago, I lived right next to a very busy street, and someone came to visit, held the door open. My dog flew. So I had to just look for whatever I could find to lure her back into the house, because she was on, she was on a party. She thought, I'm free now. I'm chasing cats. I'm out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's right near actually 2 busy streets. And I thought, oh, wow, so I'm looking for her. And, so it's a nice warning to just let people know. I mean, sometimes our dogs are talkative, mine bark, but sometimes not. And this way, right, people are aware that, okay, I see you have animals, so I'm not going to stand there, and open the door wider and just start chatting. I'm going to be conscious that your animals might run out. My cat likes to run out too, so.
Right. And that was actually a concern of ours, and we would like to do one down the road of that. But I'm sure right now it serves that purpose if people see that. Now, I have one at my front door, and I have one on my back door. and nobody's really said that yet, probably because they all realize that I have animals. But I can see that working that way, and it's probably, a nice thing. And we did put our pets on there for anybody that lives alone. We did not want to, let anybody know that, they lived alone, so we put our pets on there. We thought that was a good idea. But, they're a decorative piece of artwork that serves a vital purpose, in our opinion, and they look good on any particular house, any style of house.
So where can our listeners find the plaques?
Right now, the plaques we're actively, trying to get our into some catalogs. Right now, the best place I can tell them is to go to beauregards.com, and they can purchase it right from there. They can read the About Us. We do have a lot of emergency tips, a lot of tips on what your pet shouldn't eat, which onions were one on the list that I didn't know about. So there's a lot of good information on there. But, beauregards.com is probably the best place. We are, like I said, working on a couple of the boutiques and catalogs. So hopefully within 6 months we should have a little bit more distribution out there. But it's probably the easiest way to get it from our website.
Okay, now you said there's some safety tips for your animals, and I encourage our listeners to go to your site. There'll also be a link to your site on the episode page of this segment. But can you give our listeners a few of those tips?
Well, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I know there's a lot of tips on what not to feed your pets. Like I just said, onions were one of them. I never knew that tomato leaves were another one that is poisonous, very poisonous. So there's a lot of tips on poisonous plants and actual foods they shouldn't have. There are some fire safety tips in there. There's quite a few obvious ones that, about your pet. You don't want to leave a pan on the stove with a handle pointed out. Animals do knock that over. There's a lot of tips on there as far as the stats for fire safety, which is, like I say, a passion of mine. I live in a very old Spanish house built in 1926, and if I get stuck on my second floor, there's actually no way I can get down other than jumping. So, there's a lot of good literature out there as far as, how to plan an evacuation, regardless of what, fire is one of them. It's probably the quickest thing that spreads, and you only have 2 minutes to get out of fire. So, having a good escape plan is something that 70% of Americans don't practice. So we are kind of implementing that, and we're hoping that we get the message out. That's still a little bit of education that I think we could all use. Like I said, there's a lot of safety tips in there. I know my wife did a lot of the other tips, but there's some good information in there. There's a lot of good information that we got off of other sites. So they can check that out. And, we're working on maybe a CPR. We are going to add, there's actually a new product out that the fire department has had in their trucks. They've had the pet oxygen masks in their trucks for a while. We're still fire departments that do not have the pet oxygen masks, but there's an ambu bag that goes with it, and that's a resuscitation bag. It's something new that's out there now, and we're thinking about trying to get donations for that so the fire department can have that as well. Right now, there is no way to resuscitate an animal. The fire departments, they will use an ambu bag that is a throwaway. The pet oxygen masks only come with an oxygen line, and most firemen and EMTs or paramedics will probably use the throwaway one. But this one's kind of nice because it's reusable. So we're hoping that we can get that started. It's kind of a neat process, and, it still happens. There's still resuscitation that needs to be done, and, I'm sure the firemen are always looking for other tools in the trade.
Yeah, it's not like you can give your dog CPR, standard CPR that you give a person.
It's nose to snout. There's actually classes for that, and I am actually going to take a class. You have to do it in person, which I think everybody should. If they had the time and they could find one in their area, it's probably very fascinating just because of it's an animal versus a person. It's kind of the same thing, but it's mouth to snout. That's the way you would resuscitate. Now, with these oxygen masks, they're able to use this ambu bag, and I'm not sure it's a homeowner kind of thing without taking a course and you understand how to use that. There's different sizes for different pets, but it's kind of neat, and we're hoping that we get that campaign going. I'm working with my son and his fire department to see if that's a feasible thing for them. At least that way they wouldn't be throwing away their product, their ambu bags, and they could reuse this one. So I think it's a smart investment on our parts to do that with them.
Well, it sounds like there's some great tips on your site, not only for fire safety, but also just general safety for your animal, and great information that our listeners can get to. And that's Beauregards.com.
Yes, Beauregards.com, and we're also, please like us on Facebook. We have a lot of good Facebook pictures, and we have some neat little things going on there. So, feel free for your listeners to, like us on Facebook, and, hope they can purchase a plaque and keep their animals safe. And, hopefully we come out with the other ones sooner than later.
Great. It's a great idea, Mark, and it's a great, nice-looking plaque, and it's a simple way to let emergency people know that you have an animal. Please look for your animal, and it saves lives. Helps saves, lives. What can be better than that?
Right. One other tip I'd like to add that I know there's a lot of stickers that go on your windows, which there's nothing wrong with that. Stickers have been around a lot longer than our plaques are. The only thing that we've noticed and that we've gotten with a lot of the firemen, that there's no dates on these. Now, we put dates on ours. So if you do have the stickers or you do purchase the stickers, try to find some with the date on it. In the commotion of an emergency, I'm not sure everybody's going to read it, but if the date's on there, they realize that it's current and that you probably have pets in the house. It's not, some of these stickers could be there for 3 years. They don't really know whether they're current or not. So that was seemed to be a big question for them. So I'm kind of reaching out to everybody, and if you do decide to put a sticker on your window, which we actually have stickers as well, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to put them all over your house. The more the merrier, but make sure it does have the date on it, and there's actually some reflective stickers that are out there that work really well too. The plaque is for the front or the back of the house. It stands out very well. We encourage people to get that, and we just know it's a nice piece of artwork that somebody would put on the front of their house. So, just another little tip on the stickers, making sure they have dates on them. That's
great information because, it's good. Keep it current. This way, that I think that the emergency personnel are more likely to look at it and they realize, it's not something that's been there forever, or maybe doesn't even belong to the current owner, but it's something active and something to act on now.
Right. Yeah, and we're a member of the NFPA, which another good tip for any young parents out there that have young children, go to the NFPA website, National Fire Prevention Association, and they have a link on there. I think it's Sparky's Schoolhouse or something like that, Sparky the Fire Dog or something like that, Families and something, but there's some good links there. You can get a lot of good information on there, and I'm 57 years old, and there's a lot that I learned later in life. And your fire department will come to your house. They'll talk to your kids. They'll walk your house to see if you have any issues that maybe you want to address. My wife likes to she has a extension cord underneath the carpet, which is not very good, especially where it plugs in. And I'm constantly pulling that thing out of there. So there's a lot of good tips that you can get from the NFPA. And like I said, your local fire department will come and talk to you. I mean, they taught me a lot, helped me figure out a good escape plan. I found out I need one more smoke detector. So, and not to say there's other safety tips you can find, but like I said, I'm passionate with the fire prevention, and NFPA is a great site for anybody to go to.
Okay, sounds great. And listeners, again, they can go to Beauregards.com and they can get information on all sorts of fire safety tips and other tips, as well as what bad things for your dogs to stay away from eating, and also find the fire safety plaques. So that's Beauregards.com, and listeners, there'll be a link on the episode page of this segment as well. So you can go right there and get to the website. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners all about the fire safety plaques that you have.
Well, thank you so much for having us. It's been great, and we wish everybody safety.
Thanks, listeners, for listening to this episode of Best Bets for Pets. Stay tuned for more on another great product.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to 1-800-PETMEDS.com/BEST, BEST, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
I don't make any decisions about who to hire without going to Angie's List first.
You'll find reviews on home repair to healthcare, written by people just like you.
With Angie's List, I know who to call, and I know the results will be fantastic.
Angie's List, which you can trust.
Go to Angie'sList.com/best and get 25% off any subscription. That's Angie'sList.com/best, BEST.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience?
We have a brand new trademark concept called Info Seeds. Info Seeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service.
We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information.
There you can listen to a sample of Info Seed or email us at
PetLifeRadio.com.
Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Hey guys, this is Skylar Samuel.
Hi, this is Rochelle Pfaff from the Twilight franchise.
Hey, what's going on? It's Tyler James Williams from Everybody Hates Chris.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Sunshine from the new movie Marmaduke.
You are listening to the amazing, unstoppable Kristen Powers.
Pets Rock.
Pets Rock.
Pets Rock. Pets Rock.
Pets Rock on Pet Life Radio.
Hey everyone, this is Kristen Powers of Pets Rock at Pet Life Radio. We'll see you next time.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Pets Rock.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about some favorite products that we've recently reviewed. And I have with me Lexi, who's an animal expert, and she resides in Greater New York City. Welcome, Lexi.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here today.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. Now, can you tell our guests a little bit about you?
Well, I live on the greater side of New York City. I have 5 stray dogs that I rescued. I am a big pet lover, and I'm happy to be here today.
We're so glad to have you. Wow, you have 5 rescue dogs. And I know New York City, they don't have huge mansions, so that must be a busy household.
It is. The dogs are everywhere in the house, but I love all of them, so I'm more than happy for them to be in the house.
How did you come to rescue 5 dogs?
Well, it all started when I used to live down in Florida. I had 2 dogs, actually, and one of them was a rescue, and then the other one got it given to us. So we moved up, we rescued another dog, and they had puppies, and we ended up keeping 2 of them. And then as time went by, there was another rescue dog. I think I'm up to number 5. She lived in North Carolina. And it's funny that she came from North Carolina all the way to New York. But she was only supposed to be a foster, but we ended up liking her and keeping her.
I know, it's so hard. I have 3 animals and 2 of them are rescues. It's always great when you can rescue, pets and give them a chance at a better life than what would have happened or the worst life they could have had. So today we're going to talk about some of our favorite products. one of the items that I reviewed earlier this year that I just love is Dermagic shampoo bar. It's called Dermagic shampoo bar. And Lexi, you tried it on one of your dogs. How did you like it?
Well, usually as giving dogs baths and showering them, they usually don't like it that much. They try to get out of the water. They just make a mess. But when actually I used the bar, my dogs, they loved it. They said very quietly, they enjoyed it. It was a lot better of a shower.
Yeah, my dog too. And I think it's because, I'm taking the bar in my hand and putting it on their body because you have to rub it. It's a soap bar, shampoo bar. And I think they get a little mini massage, and that's what they like so much. So they're calmer. I mean, is that what you found?
Yeah, I found kind of the same thing. My dogs enjoyed it.
So yeah, that's definitely thumbs up for both of us on the shampoo bar by Dermagic. It's just great product.
Another product, the Stella and Chewy's, the freeze-dried dinners, the dogs love them. I gave it to them. I didn't know really what to expect. But they liked it. They went crazy for them.
My dog actually, I was training him for a new trick. And I thought, let me try this because he seems to like it. And he's really, really picky. And I'm telling you, that trick went so smoothly because I would just use the Stella and Chewy dinners as little treats. I broke it up and he went crazy. It was it just made training really, really easy. It's expensive,
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it. I just use them as treats more than a full dinner, just kind of use little pieces of it. What do you think? Would you buy it again?
I would definitely buy it again. Maybe even in one of the different flavors because they come in 4 or 5. But try something different. But my dog definitely enjoyed it, so I would definitely get it again.
That's great. Now, one of the things right now, we're in a season, where it's rainy. And it's really hard to find raincoats for larger dogs. I mean, have you had it any easier in New York to find it?
No, because even any type of clothing for bigger dogs is always more of a challenge. And a lot of places only make it for the small dogs that you can carry around with you. But I did find the Robin Meyer I.C.E raincoats. Actually, they have one for larger dogs as well as smaller dogs. And they're comfortable, they're reversible. My dogs wear them, they go out in the snow with them.
Yeah, they also have when it gets really cold, because I know sometimes in the snow it's not that cold, but they also have full-on coats for dogs too, and she makes them in larger sizes also. And Robin Meyer, who I interviewed earlier this year, has a fashion background. My dog has a collar that was fashioned after a Chanel handbag, so he might be better dressed than I am. Can you imagine having a little, your collar is from a Chanel handbag?
No, I can't imagine my dog wearing nicer collars than my person.
But the raincoats they're really nice. And yeah, it's so true. For a larger dog, it's definitely challenging to find some type of clothing. And for a raincoat, it's nice. I think it makes them more secure, when it thunders.
Yeah.
And it also makes them just more, it keeps some of the water off, which is nice.
Yeah, it keeps the wet dog smell. When they come back in, they don't have that smell. They're not dripping wet. So it's nice.
And definitely a little warmer, too, for them, which is nice sometimes when it's colder weather.
Another product, the All-American Pet Treats baking pan. It's kind of like a little stencil of a little paw print. It's nice. You can put anything in it. You can put dog treats. You can put stuff for us to eat. You can put you can freeze stuff in it. You can microwave it, all-purpose type of thing. It's really nice. It's cute. The little stencils come out in little paw prints. It's pretty much indestructible.
I recently tried some of the recipes that Andrew from American Pet Treats had given to us on a previous show. And there's some great recipes. He had a recipe for frozen treats. He also recommended, because it's, like you said, the stencils or the cavities are shaped like paw prints. So whatever you put in there, you freeze, bake, or in the microwave or oven, they come out like little paw prints. They also have it in a larger size with a larger paw print. And they come out very easily because the silicone is naturally resistant to anything sticking to it. So whether it's frozen or baked, it comes out very nicely. And it also is very durable, as you said. And his recipes were just different ones. He even had one for a Jell-O recipe for older dogs. Because you know how older dogs, sometimes they don't want anything hard and crunchy. So he had a great recipe for that too. They're $24.99, so they're not the least expensive type of product I've seen, but for how durable it is, definitely well worth the money. I mean, you'll have this forever. It's a great little muffin pan, and it's a great way to make healthy treats for your dogs that are much better than some, not all, but some of the treats that you can get out there commercially. So I definitely recommend that. Any other products that you've tried out there recently that you just love?
Well, I've definitely tried products here and there. I don't exactly remember their names, but like all the products I've tried are very different, and some of them I like more than others, but you try products and then you find the ones you like and you just stick to them.
Yeah, it's definitely acquired taste, I think, for your animal. I have one dog that is, and he's a little one, so you'd think that he would be picky with his food. No, anything. He eats anything. The bigger one, who's 40 pounds, he's picky. Do you find that with your dogs too? Do you have some that are pickier than...
Yeah, I definitely have some that are pickier than others. Some will eat other things the other ones won't, because my dogs personally, they love vegetables. They'll eat lettuce, they'll eat cucumbers, they'll eat almost any vegetable. Some of the bigger ones actually are a little more picky. Some of them won't eat the lettuce, but they'll eat the cucumbers. And some of the smaller ones will just eat anything. Anything you give them, they'll eat.
What's the strangest thing that you had your dog eat that you just thought, I can't believe this?
I would have to say the lettuce, but it has no taste, it has no flavor really, and my dogs just love it. They'll just sit there and eat like a salad.
That's funny. I thought when I had my dogs eat bell pepper, I didn't expect watermelon, but I heard watermelon was good for the dogs. They really like the watermelon, except be careful not to overgive the watermelon, because then I think it is not so good for when they are going to the bathroom. but, and always, listeners, check with your vet. Make sure it's something you can give your dog. But I know on the whole, most vegetables are pretty good for dogs.
Yeah.
So, listeners, these are a few of our most favorite items that I've reviewed on Best Bets for Pets. You can find all of the items in other show episodes that have been posted already at PetLifeRadio.com. Just look for Best Bets for Pets. And thank you so much, Lexi, for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making us sound great. Thanks to our fur babies, Zeus and Nikki and Dennis. And Lexi, your fur babies?
Well, actually, it's funny. One of them is also named Lexi. Destiny, Rocky, Carly, and Scruffy.
And that's for keeping us on our toes, making us happy, and making us laugh when we've had those days when laughing is far from our minds. And my listeners, thank you so much for listening to Best Bets for Pets. I appreciate you so much. Say hi to your furry pets for me.